so I guess it's time for another vlog. And today I wanted to talk about my experience with gender, because I've known a lot of people on Twitch for a long time, even before I was streaming, and a lot of them have gotten to know me by certain pronouns, and a lot of others have gotten to know me by other pronouns, and I'm in a very weird position, so I wanted to sort of clarify that, and hopefully you guys get to know me a bit better. But I've never been a very stereotypically male person. I always found the idea kind of repugnant. I felt it was all this unnecessary drama, machismo, and it really didn't feel like me. And way back when, my parents were pretty protective parents. They insisted I not put any real information when I went online. So the first forum I joined, I put myself down as what I thought was the least connected to me as possible, which was 26 and female. Yeah, I was like 16 at the time, but people really believed it. Like, they would comment on like how my writing style is very feminine, and you know, how I seemed very educated, and all this stuff which seemed to talk about a different person than me, but also seemed to talk about me. Now, part of that could have been perception bias, but being the person I was at the time, I thought, well, why not go along with it? Why not try and figure out exactly what it means to be female? So for a lot of my early online presence, I started identifying as female. Less as a personal connection and more as just sort of a mental social experiment that I decided to do. Well, it snowballed, and I sort of, you know, when they said she, my head would sort of do this internet turn, and, you know, I'd be like, oh, okay, that must be talking, you know, it's still addressing me, right? And slowly I began contemplating, well, what does this mean for me, that I'm so comfortable identifying with female pronouns, with female associations? Does this mean that I'm, you know, transgender? Does this mean that I'm, you know, gender fluid? And I'm really not certain how to really answer those questions. Because if anything in anthropology has taught me, it's that gender is a wide and varied thing with all these intricacies and nuances, and it ends up becoming determined by the individual. It's not something that can be ascribed from the outside. I mean, you might lump someone in to a group just because you don't want to get to know them, but that doesn't change who they are. And so it's like, you know, maybe there's multiple genders, who knows? Maybe there's, you know, third, fourth, fifth genders, maybe there's this spectrum. But when it came down to things, I realized personally, for me, that I couldn't not accept myself as biologically male. And I knew that if I even considered changing that, I would end up having even more conflict than I did currently. So I decided that wasn't for me. So maybe I wasn't transgender, you know, because I did recognize myself as male, and I have mostly, like, male elements. Like, it's very hard to change one's voice, it's very hard to change one's look. So all these physical aspects tie my brain down and say, well, if you're in the day-to-day and somebody addresses you as she, well, they must be missing something, right? But online, I don't have any of those connections to the physical. I don't have any of that, with the exception of webcam on some of my streams. So a lot of the people who get to know me online, I won't specify, and they'll default to them there, or she, her, or him, his, and it doesn't matter. And on the online, I actually kind of feel happy when somebody refers to me as she or her, because it means that they're recognizing how different I am from the cultural conception of male, which is something I'm actually kind of proud of, to be perfectly honest. So, online, I'm free to sort of play with that association, to be female, or to be genderless, and that's so freeing to me. Because in reality, I can't say that I'm not male, because even my own brain doesn't have a good friendly association with that. And maybe that's a limitation of my brain and not necessarily my identity. Maybe I am transgender, maybe I am intersex, maybe I am all these, different possibilities. All I know is that I don't mind she, her. I don't mind particularly him, his, although I do feel increasingly more uncomfortable with it as more and more I part away from physical limitations on an online world. I mean, there's a reason I choose female avatars for everything. It's not because of the stupid,
well, I have to look at the backside of a character all the time. I might as well choose it.
no. It's because I feel more comfortable putting myself in that sort of shoes, in that sort of new perspective, that freed from my normal limitations. So, it's like, even on my Tumblr, I don't even have preferred pronouns on there, because I'm okay with everything at this point. I just don't like what it means to be male nowadays. It's not who I am, and it's not who I want to be. And before we all say, well, it's up to us to define how gender is, well, no, it isn't. They're labels. And language is this play of associations and historical meanings and all this. If gender was really just defined by, the individual completely with no associations to any outside aspect whatsoever, we wouldn't have nearly as many weird in-between labels as we do. For me, it's been a journey. It's been this weird conflict, and it's been a part of why I wrestle with my own personal identity for so long, is because I find this to be an important matter, not just for me, but for everyone. Everyone should really consider what those aspects of their identity they wish to put forward. I don't want to push forward male, and I don't exactly want to push forward female in reality either. So, I guess, the only thing I can really say is that I'm gender queer, So, if you see someone refer to me with, female pronouns, she, her, if you see someone refer to me with male pronouns, he, him, if you see someone refer to me with gender neutral pronouns, them, their, don't correct them. Just you know, choose whatever you feel most comfortable with addressing me. Because in the end, all I know that I am is Maven. I'm a biologically male, genderqueer nerd who's depressed, who's a pessimist a lot of times. I like thinking about things, creating things. I like tactics and games and people. I like helping people. And in the end, that's my identity. And whatever labels or shortcuts people want to use to describe me, that's up to them, as long as it doesn't forget about the individual. So, you know, Co-Carnage, keep telling me, you know, you go girl, or, you know, nice to see you girl, that's fine. White Shadow, I'm right there with you. For those of you who get to know me by the stream and know my face, you know, it's fine to say him, his. It's fine to say them, there. I'm not gonna correct my parents, I'm not gonna correct anyone. All I want is for people to know that I'm Maven, and I want to be a resource for people. I want to be useful. I want to be understanding. I want to be a safe space. I want people who don't know where to turn, who wrestle with these same questions. I want them to come to me and say, Maven, I can trust you, and I respect the way you think about things. That's all I want. And, I mean, if gender is a necessary shortcut for you, then use whatever you feel necessary. But until I figure out some real strong association one way or the other, I'm just Maven. Genderqueer Maven. And before a lot of people come into this YouTube, you know, channel and talk about, you know, there's only only two genders. There isn't even only two sexes. And science can prove that. And if science is a conspiracy, then you really shouldn't be saying, you know, that biologically it's apparent. No. There's so many things in this world that are socially constructed. Don't let your mind be limited by what you think science does or does not say. If it's something that has to do with your personal identity, I don't care if you think you're a wolf. I don't care if you think that, you know, you're an alien. I don't care if you think that. All I want to know is that you thought long and hard about it. You knew what felt most comfortable. And that you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for attention or approval. Be you, and that's all that matters. So that's, I think, about it for this sort of off-the-cuff vlog. But be sure to, if you like what I'm saying, be sure to like the video. And if you have any interest in any additional vlog topics, please leave it in the comments. This is something that I was intending to do originally over gameplay, but I figure it's a lot more human. I can do a lot more talking just this way to you guys. So, some other topics I was thinking about for next time, in case you want to, like, throw your support down in the comments for them. I'm really interested in talking about my approach to streaming, because there's been people who've been like, well, why don't you, you know, do this, this, and this? You could gain so many more viewers. And it's, well, I have my reasons. If you want to talk about, like, my approach to pen and papers, because I'm still working on the uplift with so-and-so, and you'd get more information about that if you pop on onto the Twitch stream or onto the Discord. But yeah, other than that, I guess I'll just talk to you guys next time. hope you enjoy more highlights, because more highlights will be coming. So, enjoy, and I'll see y'all next time.